Hi! It's been a while. So I have been gone for like 2 months at this point. And if you would like to hear where I have been, stay until the end because I will be talking about my personal life at the end so that people who just want to see knitting and don't necessarily care about me as a person, not in a bad way, but just like, you're not obligated to care about my personal life. If you just want to see the knitting, that is so fine. So I'm going to put that at the beginning, and then at the end we'll do my little chit-chat catch-up. So today we're just going to do standard podcast format. We're going to go through finished objects, works in progress, acquisitions, all of which I have a lot of. So I'm going to be trying to talk fast and get through things as quickly as possible because if I don't, this is going to be 2 hours long, and nobody wants that. First finished object is what I'm wearing. This is my cardigan number 8. I don't know why I decided to do that with my hand in the wall. So this is my cardigan number 8 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and I knit this up in Noro Madara, held with a mohair. And this has sparked a Noro obsession that, quite frankly, I am never going to financially recover from. So that's great. But no, I love this yarn. I love this cardigan. I've worn this a ton already. It just like has the cutest little pockets. I nanny a baby and I always make her wear these little dresses that have animal pockets because they're just the cutest things. Like it's little mice on the pockets. And every time I put her in one, she says, "Can I put goldfish in the pocket?" She's like, "Goldfish?" And I'm like, "You're the boss, babe. It's your world." So it always reminds me of her when I wear this. That's my point. I'm always like, I should put goldfish in here. What if I did? She's adorable. So yeah, that's my cardigan number 8. And yeah, next up we have my Cletus sweater. This is, okay, so I like it on camera. I will say the fit isn't the best, and that is entirely my own fault. Did I gauge swatch? No. So that's on me. It doesn't fit the best. I would have gone up a size, I think, if I had gauge swatched. If I had gauge swatched, I would have gone up a size, I think. So this is my Cletus, and I really just wanted it to be all over this this yarn, the base yarn, which I held with Knitting for All of Soft Silk, Mohair, Fennel Seed. Yeah, I ran out and I didn't have it in me to go out and buy $80 more of this yarn. So we made do. We had a designers make it work moment, and it's not my favorite, but you know what? It's still kind of cute. I don't hate it. Oh my god. Sorry, I live on a really busy street. This is just my life. Yeah, it's not my favorite, not my least favorite. Very mid finished object, I think. I don't hate it. Next up, we have what was a very impulsive cast on. I just randomly was looking at my stash and I realized I still had like 6 or 7 skeins of this thrifted mohair that my mom found for me. I made my Leo Moon sweater out of this same yarn, but I still had a bunch left and I wanted to use it for something. And I had the Ghost Whisperer top pattern in my library already. And I was like, what if I just casted it on? So I did. And I actually really like how this turned out. I like this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I kind of thought it was a little bit impractical because it's a mohair short sleeve, which seems counterintuitive. And then I remembered that I live in Seattle. So yeah, no, it makes sense for me. It's not gonna get warm here until July. So this has already gotten a fair amount of wear. My favorite way to wear this is under my overalls. I think that is so cute, and I'm a big overall girly. Big overall girly. I'm sorry. I've all been waiting for this one. This is my Prima Pullover. This took so long to finish, but I really love how it turned out. I'll insert a picture of me wearing it right here. I love it. The shaping, the all over rib. I love the brown. I love the thumb holes. I love this. I added some elastic as per Tamara's recommendation, and I think that really helps keep it up and on the shoulders where it needs to be. But yeah, I wore this out for Valentine's Day dinner. I loved it. Perfect little date night outfit. My Sophie scarf is done. Finally, I'll try it on for you. Honestly, it's not my favorite. I feel as though my neck is not long enough to support this kind of scarf. One of my best friends is Danish and she lives in Copenhagen, and she was telling me that she sees all the girlies in a Sophie scarf. I get the inside scoop, basically, from a Copenhagen girly herself. Yeah, just overall, I don't think I have the neck to support a Sophie scarf. Unfortunately, that was a lesson I did have to learn myself. Hear me out, have been getting into sock knitting. Who is she? So this started when Handmade by Florence was doing a pattern sale, and I saw that she had these socks that she had designed. These are the Mountain Walk Chunky. Here's the rib pattern a little bit closer. It's actually a mock cable, and I had this sock yarn that I had gotten when I was a more ambitious person. I actually had a lot of fun knitting these. It was very meditative, and I love this yarn. This is from my local yarn store, Seattle, Indie Dyer. I think Serial Knits is her name. It'll be here. But yeah, so I just love the color. I love the pattern. I think they turned out really great. They fit perfectly. I love these. I was feeling like making some more socks, and so I bought the Sunde sock pattern from Petite Knit, which is the little chunky kind of house sock vibe. Even when it says house sock, my feet are so small that even if I wear these, I've worn these in my Doc Martens and they still fit, so I can get away with it. But yeah, this is made with Lion brand fisherman wool, held with the Drops Kid Silk Mohair. They're very soft, very nice. I love them in theory. The fit isn't great. They're a little bit too big, and I did the smallest size. So I'm going to pop these in a dryer as soon as I get access to a dryer I don't have to pay for like 5 minutes, and see if we can kind of shrink them up a little bit. Overall though, very comfy. So last night I was cleaning out my yarn stash, and I happened upon, I think, 10 balls of this 100% wool that I had gotten from a Joann Fabrics like a million years ago. So it's like $2 a skein. So I would have been losing money. So I bought it all, but I haven't used it for anything because I just have weird quantities of it. So I started making these little crocheted baskets last night out of it, held with a cotton yarn that I just had lying around. And I really like it. I think I'm going to put my dryer balls in this one, and it's going to be great. And I also made a big guy. This guy, we're both finished within a few hours. Super quick little crochet project. And I'm excited to have some more baskets. I'm going to make some more because I have more of this yarn, and it's going to be a really good time. I love this journey for me. So now we are going to get into the nitty-gritty. The nitty-gritty, get it? Works in progress, and the way I've kind of found this works for me is I do works in progress and acquisitions kind of together, because I have no patience and I start things immediately when I get the yarn. So that's the way it is. My most prolific current WIP, which is my step-by-step sweater by Handmade by Florence. So I'm knitting this up in Noro E2 in the shade Conan. I am super mispronouncing that. It'll be here. I am in love with this yarn. I saw What's Millie Making. She made this exact same sweater in this yarn, and then I immediately bought the yarn and wanted the same sweater as her. She's adorable. I'll have her at here. So yeah, I have this much done, almost done with the body, and then we're going to do arms, and then the ribbing, other than the collar, is going to be in this other Noro in this green, so it's going to be like a little contrast. I wanted to do the pink Millie did, but none of my local yarn stores had that, so I went with the green as a pop of color instead. And it's a really pretty green. Look at that. Stunning. I love Noro. It's so expensive, but I love it. So that's our first work in progress. Making good progress there. Next we have another very impulsive cast on. I don't know what's with me and being impulsive with casting on recently, but This is the beginnings of a vacation vest by Park and Knit. Started this one once before and I got a little bit further than I am here now, but I realized I needed to go down a needle size because my fabric was super gapey. This is being knit up in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the shade Sunflower. And I love working with this yarn. The pattern calls for like a size 5 needle, and I had to go down to a size 3.5 millimeter needle. So I went up to a size large. My measurements were for a size medium. I figured, you know, silk, like it has a decent amount of stretch, so worst case I can just block it out. That's the plan. Anyway, we'll see. My last current whip is the Halit Sweater. This is a colorwork yoke, circular yoke, and I am not very far because quite frankly, I'm really not having a good time with this. I've done colorwork before, and I don't remember hating it as much as I hate it right now. I bought this like little tension ring that has two things, and so I'm hoping that I can just put the yarn in, you know, and then, because I knit continental, which I think honestly makes colorwork harder because it's just so counterintuitive to what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm hoping the tension ring helps and I can get some progress going on this, because I really want this sweater. I'm knitting this up in Explorer Knits and Fibers Earthy DK in the color Pike Place. This was a pop-up they did at La Mercerie, and I went the next day actually, and they still had a decent selection, and I saw this orange and I fell in love. Why is my battery dying? Why is my battery dying? Anyway, I fell in love with this orange. I was trying to find an alternative in the store because it was very expensive. Could not find anything that compared. And they had 4 skeins of it left. I did the math, and if I make some adjustments, I can make an extra small halibut sweater. And so my hope is I can just block it out to be like a small, and that will fit me. Again, playing a very dangerous game here, definitely. I went to La Mercerie that day with my friend June, who's June Knits on Instagram. Love her. We had the best time. Yeah, I really just needed to buy this. And so my contrast color is Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the shade Dusty Artichoke. I have been wanting to knit the halibut sweater for so long, but I just couldn't decide on a colorway. I didn't want like a black and white. That's not really my vibe. I like colorful everything. So I wanted something colorful. I just didn't know what. And then I saw these two at La Mercerie, and it just spoke to me. I had a religious experience in La Mercerie. Halibut sweater, can't wait. Hate doing color work. Let's see if that can change. No, not even close to my last acquisition. This is some sock yarn from my local yarn store. Same sock yarn as the ones I used for the Mountain Walker socks, but just in a lighter yellow. And I'm thinking this is going to be a pair of ruffle socks. I really want to knit an actual sock weight sock. I think it's time. So yeah. Oh my god. I have such chaos surrounding me right now. Another very exciting acquisition was from the same trip to La Mercerie. This is actually what we went for, also for the vibes, but so this is the, I'm not even going to try to say the name. I said Birches and Bunches on the phone with them once, and they were like, what? It's French, and I just went straight up, my brain was like, no, English. That's gonna be English now. Which is not how that works. So I still don't know how to say this name. But it is their lamb's wool, 100% lamb's wool in the shade Soft Gold, which is actually, this is green, this is olive green. I don't know what they were on when they were naming this, but this is not gold. Regardless, I fell in love with this color 2 trips ago to La Mercerie, and I've been thinking about it ever since. I just didn't know what I wanted to make with it. It has a matching mohair, which I'm going to get after they finish their move, because they had already packed it up to be moved. It's going to be the cloud sweater. I'm going to make the cloud sweater. I've been obsessing over that one since she released the pattern. It's time. They also gave me the cutest little project bag, and I've never had a real project bag before. So that was exciting. Battery is we're still here, so let's see if I can just... Next up, we have some thrifted acquisitions, and these have been in the freezer for 3 days, also in Ziploc bags, still quarantining them. This is a little sock yarn, not terribly exciting, just merino nylon viscose. I liked the colorway. It's super neutral and different. Well, okay, no, it's neutral. It's not different. It's just a fun neutral because it's multiple neutrals. So there's that one. And then, oh my god, where did it go? There's another sock yarn, guys. Well, there's another sock yarn. You're just gonna have to trust me on that one. And then I found this vintage fingering weight 100% virgin wool worsted weight, and this gorgeous little light blue. It was in this random box that I just happened to open, and I loved it. So I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skeins of this. So I don't think it's quite a sweater quantity, but I loved this. So that was fun. Okay. The Ziploc does not want to zip or lock. There we go. And then I saw these 2 giant cones of mohair, and it didn't have a composition inside of it. It just says like a bunch of random numbers. So I bought it on the off chance that it's 100% mohair, because that would have been the find of the century. Got it home, got it in the freezer, did a burn test, super melted. So I believe it is a blend of acrylic and probably some mohair because it doesn't feel plasticky. So we tried. It was $6 for this giant cone. I'm not gonna leave that at Goodwill. I'm not a crazy person. So I bought it. I would have been losing money. I would have been losing money, okay? We are caught up on finished objects, whips, acquisitions. Where have I been, you may be asking? And I will say, first and foremost, low-key, I have a bachelor's degree. So I graduated college. That is crazy to me. Honestly, most of the last 2 months I've just been finishing school and trying to make sure I had all my ducks in a row and everything was finished. I did end up sick again after my last video where I mentioned I was sick 3 times in a row. I got a sinus infection, so that sucked for like 2 weeks. Something I have noticed is that the second you graduate, people are going to start asking you, what's next? Like the same day, people were like, so what's next? And I'm like, can I just vibe for a little bit, like a month maybe? Just a pure vibes. Obviously I am a nanny part-time, so I do that still. But I'm gonna look for some jobs. In a couple weeks I'm gonna start looking, and yeah, I'm planning on going to grad school, coming as a shock to nobody. As a shock to nobody, I'm going to grad school, I think. So I want to be a therapist. Specifically, I want to be a therapist for the deaf community and like CODAs, children of deaf adults. In that sphere, I got my bachelor's in English and my minor in American Sign Language. So I'm not fluent in ASL, I'm conversational. So I'm gonna need to keep working on my ASL as well as doing my therapy schooling. So that's the plan as of right now. I can't apply until next winter, so for this foreseeable future I'm just going to be working. So yeah, that's the life plan. That's kind of where I've been, and I have some exciting, I don't know if they're exciting, I have some video ideas. I have some video ideas I'm going to work on starting tomorrow. I feel like now that I'm working part-time and don't have school, all I do is knit, which is really great. You're going to be hearing a lot from me, I think, whether you like it or not. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time, I hope. I hope you have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever, whenever you are. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.